So recently I did a stream, and our goal was simple. We wanted to test how Valorant servers are performing after the AWS data destruction situation. At first, we thought the issue was from the gaming server side, but later, while doing proper troubleshooting, we realized it's actually not the gaming server. Yes, the ping has increased a bit already, and that's because many Dubai players shifted to the Bahrain server, which sometimes creates queue delay and extra load. Before, I used to get around 54 ping, but these days it's more like 60 to 64. Even then, the server itself isn't really bad. The ping is still stable for many players from other countries, and that's actually a sign that the problem might be somewhere on our side. Maybe from my PC to the router, or router to the ISP exchange, and so on. So the next thing we tried for troubleshooting was Route Tracer. Basically, this tool helps us understand where exactly the connection problem exists between our PC and the game server. After doing a little research, we found the Bahrain server IP for Valorant, which you can copy from the description. Now, open Command Prompt as administrator. Just click on Windows Search, type CMD, then right-click on it and choose Run as Administrator. After that, type this command. First, write tracer T, then -D, which makes the tracing faster, then -H, which means hops. Then add the destination, which is the Bahrain Valorant server IP. You can simply copy it from the description. Once everything is typed, press Enter to start. It may take a little bit of time, so just wait for the result. If you see the destination server at the end, that means your connection successfully reached the server without any interruption. Now, you might notice some asterisks, these little stars in the result. Don't worry about that. Sometimes firewall settings hide the response, so the result doesn't show properly for those hops. But if your connection still reaches the destination with a normal latency, that means the server route is actually fine. But that's not it. By the way, now we're going to go a little deeper. As you can see, our data reached the server correctly. Now we want to check each hop along the route. In simple words, you can think of hops like pipes that your internet data travels through. So now we want to see how large packets travel between those pipes, because that can help us understand if any part of the route is causing a problem. So let's test it. First, we'll do a quick ping test to the server while downloading a large file at the same time. Go back to CMD and type ping, then the Bahrain IP, and add -T, which sends unlimited pings. Let it keep running. Now, at the same time, start downloading a large file. While the download is running, keep watching the ping result to see if there is any timeout happening. If you start seeing timeouts here, that clearly means the service itself is working, but something between your PC and the server is creating the issue. Now, technically, we could ping every single hop manually and test it while downloading, but honestly, that would take a lot of time. So instead, we use a tool called PingPlotter. PingPlotter constantly pings every hop between you and the server, again and again. So when you start downloading something heavy during the test, it will clearly show which hop starts losing packets or increasing latency. And that makes it much easier to identify exactly where the real problem is happening. Now, all of this is the technical side. Using these results, you can actually submit a proper complaint to your ISP and explain the problem along with the evidence. Most of the time they do fix it, but sometimes they won't fix a routing issue just for one person. In that situation, I'll show you a few workarounds that can still help reduce the problem from your side. The first thing we already did is interrupt moderation from Device Manager. Normally, this feature sends network data in small batches to the CPU. That helps reduce CPU load, but it also adds a tiny delay. When we disable it, your PC starts treating each packet like a VIP message, sending it immediately instead of waiting for a batch. This means data moves faster with less delay. The only downside is that on very old PCs, it may use a little more CPU, but on modern systems, this is usually not a problem. Next thing is MTU, which stands for Maximum Transmission Unit. Now, let's talk about MTU in simple terms. By default, most fiber connections are set to 1,500, but for gaming, we usually lower it to 1,492. Why? Because many fiber connections use a protocol called PPPoE, and that protocol adds extra data to every packet. If your packet size is already 1,500, adding that extra information can make it slightly too big, and then the packet gets split into two pieces. This process is called fragmentation. When a packet splits, it takes longer to travel, and that's when you start seeing ping spikes or desync in games like Valorant or PUBG. So by lowering the MTU to 1,492, we make sure the packet is small enough to pass through every hop or pipe on the internet without breaking apart. Another useful thing is QoS, which stands for Quality of Service. This feature is available in most modern routers. Think of it like a traffic police officer for your internet. Normally, your router tries to give everyone equal speed. But when someone in your house starts streaming 4K videos or downloading huge files, the router's buffer gets filled. This situation is called buffer bloat. When the buffer is full, your gaming packets have to wait in line, and that's when you see those annoying ping spikes or lag. You might have noticed this yourself. When you download something while playing a game, suddenly your ping jumps up. That's because your gaming data is stuck in the queue. By setting a bandwidth limit using QoS, we can prevent the buffer from filling completely. For example, in my case, our network nodes are very tight because our area uses a shared line instead of separate connections. Multiple users share the same link. So even though I have 120 megabits per second speed, for gaming, I actually set my limit around 15 to 20 megabits per second. This reduces lag during heavy traffic. In your case, you don't have to go that low. A simple trick is to set the bandwidth about 5 to 10% lower than your actual speed. So if you have 100 megabits per second, you can limit it to around 90 or 80 megabits per second. That small adjustment helps prevent buffer bloat. So in short, guys, I tried to explain and show you each troubleshooting step manually just for your knowledge so you can easily troubleshoot your connection and find the culprit behind this. But if you don't want to waste time doing all these tests, you can simply use a buffer bloat testing website. I'll provide those links in the description. You can also use the PingPlotter tool. Look, we can't really force an ISP to fix a major node in the city, because everybody knows they can be a little lazy sometimes. They usually won't fix something that big just for a single person. But what we can do is configure our PC and router so they handle data more efficiently. There are a few more things we could do, but overall, that's pretty much it for inside the country connection issues. But what if the issue goes globally? Let's say many users complain about the server. For example, players from Pakistan, Bangladesh, and India are facing spikes or packet loss on the Bahrain server, but players from Bahrain or Dubai are playing perfectly fine. In that case, the issue is usually the international routing. For that situation, you can use exit lag. I already covered that topic in detail, including how to configure exit lag properly and use it the right way. The link is mentioned in the description, so go ahead and check that out. This is Windows Fixer, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. Till then, take care of yourself, and take care of your family.